listening to the Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason. Today we will be discussing Futurama Season 3, Episode 20, Godfellas, with your hosts Tommy Roulette.
How's it going?
Pete Woodward.
That's me.
And guest host, Bill Squire.
Hey.
Joining us today is our special guest, Sebastian King.
Welcome back to the show, Bill and Sebastian. It's a pleasure to have you both back. We are Horchie free this evening. He had a conflict, and we are out of episodes in the can. No bonus content recorded. So up a creek, we took some extreme measures.
Yeah, I didn't have any good voicemails to just leave either.
No, a couple of texts, but those are maybe not safe to share. It's been a fun week on the Google Voice. So how's everybody doing? Good. It's been I think it's been a while since we had you both on, right?
Yeah, I think I was on in January or something like that.
Oh my God,
It's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute. Season 1 was the last time I was here.
That's like 50 episodes.
Wait,
ago.
really? Season 1?
Season 1, yeah. I was one of the first ones, I think, in that first kind of chunk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where does the time go?
Yeah, is this my third or fourth appearance? I think it's 4.
This is your 4th appearance, but you've graduated to guest host.
Well, I am flattered and look forward to canceling on you. Which is a total theme with the Futurama.
Right. I mean, and to be fair, it wouldn't be the first time either.
Right,
so it all works out.
Bill and I both have really important things to do. So
I'm
Maybe
glad,
you do.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody does.
Yeah, we don't have much left of this season left.
No,
Right.
this is the third to last episode of I would say a mixed bag. There were some really good episodes this time around, but there was a lot of stinkers, if my memory serves. So,
Really? I love
Yeah.
this season.
I think season
there's-
3 is great.
I think the good ones outweighed the bad.
What were the stinkers in your opinion?
Oh, shit. What was the one that Wilson was on? It was just 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Pharaoh to Remember.
A Pharaoh to Remember.
Oh, I love that one.
You think a Pharaoh to Remember is shit?
Yeah.
I think we all agreed that it was not
Remember
a great
Me.
episode.
Yeah. We talked a lot about licking butts on that episode as opposed to Futurama.
I love the way Fry is explaining all the downfalls of being a slave, and Leela just keeps face palming because yeah, that's everything that is being a slave.
I like when Bender literally rewrites their history by smashing his face into the stone tablet. So it's who should be our next god? And it's right over there. Come on.
And even
man.
at the beginning of the episode when he's like, hey, I'm trying to start a thing. I want everyone to remember me. This dance is called the Bender. And it's the worst dance ever. I love that episode. I love all the episodes, so I'm very, very
You're a little biased.
into it, yeah.
There was a bunch of phones on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, what's weird is this cartoon, it's another one that's called Censored, but I looked it up, I went farther.
Yeah.
And it's actually, what's the guy's name? Private Snafu is the lead in this cartoon, and the cartoon was created by Warner Brothers for the Army during World War II to help soldiers that really couldn't read to know how to follow the rules and to bathe and to if bad things happen, or bad things can happen if you're not good.
We do need to make America great again. We need to be more like that.
It's a country of oral traditions.
When soldiers couldn't read.
Well, but, okay, so first of all, Private Snafu. I mean, Snafu is an abbreviation for Situation Normal All Fucked Up. So that would basically be like having a cartoon character. What the fuck? Tom's got a picture of Private Snafu. Honestly, that's kind of troubling just in and of itself, the image of Private Snafu. But that would
At least
be
he's white.
Yeah, it could have. It ties back to that.
Like a stereotype,
it's World War II. They were all white.
No, they weren't.
they
there was the syphilis wing.
Yep, exactly. The Tuskegee Airmen.
and then they put all Latinos would serve in a corps, and then there'd be everyone was segregated still.
There's the one that Morgan Freeman was in charge of. Or wait, that was a Civil War. So it would be like having a cartoon now or for kids, or I guess for servicemen, there was just Corporal MFer or something where it's just I'm surprised that came out. But the question that we've had, and that's I think the reason Tom dug deep on it, was the last time that a cartoon came up with the title Censored. We didn't know if it was.
It's from the same cartoon.
It's the same
and
cartoon.
It's one of the actually cartoons in the series.
So did you not know if it was actually censored
Like
or if the name was censored?
Right. If the name
Yeah.
of the cartoon was like racial slur, trouble, or if it's actually like censored, like if it had been named redacted or something.
Right. Yeah.
Although
no,
in this current episode, he's trying to send a message to his girlfriend Sally Lou, and a topless image of Sally Lou was censored and edited out of it.
Really?
But probably after the fact, it was used for the army.
If they got married, her name would be Sally Lou Snafu.
They probably thought of that.
But
wait. So in this episode, he's trying to send a message.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
There you go. I like
it
that.
did have phone. But the other funny thing about this private snafu thing is that originally they wanted Walt Disney to do the drawings. And this is going on during World War II. And as I remember, Walt Disney was not a fan of certain type of people
Creeps?
either.
no, he wasn't.
No.
So, because I went farther because I remember seeing that and talking about that. And that's pretty interesting. I didn't know the Army had.
I mean, they must have instructional videos now, right?
It was to like boost morale too, just because
Because you're
watch a funny cartoon.
Fighting World War II.
And if you're working with soldiers that can't read, you have to make sure it's real basic.
Yes.
Like
So
lowest
right.
common denominator
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it was proper sanitation habits, following service orders, and there was like one other thing that they were talking about.
We just bought a book for my daughter that's basically that.
Wash your ass and listen to your parents.
Yeah, basically. I mean, did you have to do that with your kids, Bill? Like the American Girl book about how to like not stink and kind of take care of yourself and be hygienic and things?
I know we had the potty training books, but because they're my stepkids, they were all there when I
When
came
you got to
around.
see-
So
yeah.
like the showering and stuff like that just came through routine. But even then, there was a time I remember cutting basically like a rat's nest out of one of my kids' hair because she was taking a shower herself, but she wasn't washing all the shampoo out. So she had like this giant fat dreadlock when she was in third grade that we had to cut out. And
We're basically there right now. I mean,
Yeah.
right before you guys came over, we were reading about having stinky armpits. I mean,
you go.
that was the subject matter before bed tonight.
what there needs to be is the one that shows them that they don't need to, like when they become teenagers, that they don't need to use all the perfume and all the cologne. Because I took my son to get a haircut today, and he gets in the car and I'm punched in the face by Axe body spray. And I'm like, dude,
Physically
a little
assaulted.
bit is fine.
It goes a long way.
You want it to be noticeable when you're close to someone, not when you walk out the door. Like, you don't want it to just be like, oh, I think Jace is out of the house and I'm 2 blocks away. Like, it's brutal. And I went through the same thing with his older sister because, they would wear so much, body spray and stuff when they were around that age, 8th grade, because you think, it's going to dissipate within minutes. It's like, yeah, the cloud does, but it gets on your skin. And that's the whole
Yeah.
idea, is that when someone's very close to you, they smell it, not when they're sitting across the table or the room.
See, I had going through that stage of life, my parents were split up. So my dad was off doing whatever.
Well, what'd you do?
I just tried to guess. I still don't think I know how to shave correctly because more often than
good.
not, I mean,
But I'm saying, why was it your fault?
it could have been my other 2 brothers' fault.
Probably not.
I was the oldest, so I must have done the worst.
Blame everyone else, I guess.
Yeah, it was I like shaving. I just kind of guess, and more often than not, it ends up being chopped meat under my neck and stuff. And I get.
But I never had that. My dad was around, but he never sat me down or took me to the bathroom. I got to teach you how
This
to
is how you
shave.
shave.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Well, but
I mean, unless you're Tommy. Tommy's got a real, you probably had to go through it to figure out how to shave without having all the bumps and everything.
Yeah. I still now I don't use an actual razor anymore. I use hair clipper or not, beard trimmer.
Yeah.
I just use it on the lowest setting because I shave and then it's the next day it's back, but it's not long enough and then just irritates my skin and everything. So I
Yeah.
just keep it on the scruff side.
I mean, and what I was getting back to with it is just that, with cologne and stuff, because I don't wear it now. I probably should, because I think I probably do stink more often than not. But when I was 13, and I'd be going up to the pool hall to try and impress girls with my bad hair and bad clothes and overweight and buck teeth. It was a total package.
Were you good at pool?
No, still not. and on top of that, like, you know, so it'd be like, oh, well, here's the cologne, slap, 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 slap. But everybody back then was smoking, including me. So, like, nobody smelled anything but cigarette smoke.
Right.
But I had no conception of, like, what is the appropriate amount of this? And I couldn't be like, Mom, if I'm trying to get laid, how much cologne should I put on? Like, so you're in this vacuum, no internet. At least kids have the internet now.
Yeah, you can find all that stuff out.
Yeah. I just did it where I would put on less and less till people stopped making comments about it.
It's sort of like an experiment with the body spray. Perfect.
Yeah, no, just total social experiment. Like, I was picked on enough, I think, when I smelled fine. You know, like, I was just that kid.
This is the one thing they didn't pick on you
like,
about.
like total. I was also a total package. I really was. Just like 8 inches shorter, 80 pounds heavier, just like really smart. Just always.
Yeah.
It's weird that we're all on a cartoon podcast.
It's
Right?
super weird. I really thought.
We could have gone to the Playboy Mansion tonight.
Right.
We have sent the private
We
jet.
do the podcast before our business meetings. So.
Right. It's we got our own jam pad over here. There was a lot in this episode to digest, I think. One of the things
Because it's the best episode.
I won't go that far.
I love it.
But
I
it
love
was
it so
it was
much.
good.
It's a great episode.
It is number 1 on IGN.
Really?
Is it? It's highly regarded as one of the better, like, top 10. It's on every top 10 Futurama list.
It's also
I love this episode.
Is that because of the philosophy or because of the jokes? Because I think I could see where it's deeper than most.
I think it has
it's-
both.
I mean, I agreed. I think it has both, but I love that it's just it's mostly a one character show. It's mostly just Bender floating, and it's all like what happens to him. I mean, it's incredible. It's a cast show, and they've totally taken. It's like the 2 of the acts are just all of him by
All him.
himself. I mean, obviously the Shrimpkins, and then what I guess we'll call Binary God.
Yeah.
But I mean, him by himself floating through space, just trying to entertain himself. It lasts 3 minutes. Like, you can't even like. It's just so great to me.
It's interesting because actually when we were talking on the Pharaoh to Remember episode, when we were unhappy with the whole thing, and that was like a rare unanimous vote when we were doing that episode.
Who was your guest that episode?
Wilson Rivera.
Oh, that's oh well, yeah, he'll ruin everything.
But
I love you, Wilson.
but the the hypothesis, and it was probably me that brought it up, was just that when there had been Bender-centric episodes before, those tended to be weaker ones, like the Tale of Two Santas and then A Pharaoh to Remember. So this would actually be an exception to that
This is
rule.
an absolute, and I agree with that because this is one of my favorite episodes of all time. And
Really?
yeah, I don't know what it is about just him just floating through space and.
I mean, I like the opportunity of, like, it's an opportunity to do what would I mean, you can't do this with a human. Even
No.
with Fry, it doesn't make sense because there's fear, there's all sorts of, you're tumbling to your death. Now you have someone who's he's not content, but he's not going to die.
Right.
So he's just literally going to spend eternity. He's knowing this at the onset. Oh, man. It's genius for me, at least.
I guess we'll get into it. I'm not like, and I liked the episode, so I'm not trying to be like the reveal is I thought it was shit. Like I thought it was good. But I think one of the things about this one is that visually there was a lot of cool shit going on. Like from the opening scene
That's
on,
true.
I feel like they kind of shot their wad on visuals a number of times in this one. Is that one of the things that they rated it on, or did they get any awards for that? Because there was like the binary god part, the way that kind of worked, but I think there was a lot of stuff where it was just like
It starts with the
the
space
stars
pirates.
when he's and he's speeding through the stars and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that was really high quality
Oh, yeah.
compared
And the
to
space
like,
pirates, and then just that they're being ransacked, and he has no. He doesn't even care. Like, he doesn't care that the space pirates.
sleep.
He's like, I'm trying to take a nap. I don't want to be a part of this war. I just want to get, find a nice, quiet place.
Yeah.
So
to
frustrated that
take
he
a nap.
even
Yeah.
puts ears on
The ears with the earplug bit is so dumb, but it's so funny.
But it's so Bender. It's so great.
Yeah.
It works so well, I think.
What did those
For me,
ears
at
stick on with? Magnets?
least. Yeah, we'll go with magnets.
No, not magnets.
They can't be magnets.
Oh, yeah, it can't
Although,
be magnets.
didn't we, when I was on one time, we established that a magnet on certain parts of his body would not affect him.
The Robot Devil one, like with the with the
because he can put it
wings.
down here. It affects his brain or the
So if they
processing
were
unit in
magnets,
his-
that would have been a whole.
Turns into a
can't
folk
be-
singer,
it couldn't-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's
But I think they're probably just an adhesive.
it's 1,000 years. I mean, with Post-its now, so I'd imagine the adhesive game in 1,000 years is.
But the
I mean, this
earplug
adhesive
game,
that I have on the back of my phone now is great. Like, it's super strong, but I can also pull it off, wash it off, and it'll work just as well
There you
the
go.
next time.
Yeah,
So,
no.
and that's,
Solve that
that's
mystery.
only 15 years after this episode aired. So,
right? Well, at the same time, earplug technology 1,000 years in the future seems to be back in the 70s. Still, just foam like roll up.
Yeah, he didn't even pinch him. He just shoved
No, just
him
shoved them in. I mean, it's probably like those were kind of like novelty ears, so there's probably a pretty wide canal on it.
there is a chance that they were actual human ears and they are just stuck there with blood
That's true.
because benders,
Kill all
So why
benders
not?
hurt people.
Yeah,
Kill all
yeah.
humans.
I mean,
Yeah,
he,
makes
he
sense.
could have anything inside the magical chest cavity. You never know
Exactly.
what he's going to pull out of there. It's established he can hold an entire swimming pool with children inside it who don't drown.
In this, he had a little baby piano.
Yeah, right.
Just like
Also held on apparently by magnets.
Yeah.
I think that made a clang when he stuck that on. The candelabra too.
oh yeah, he sticks it right on top and he just plays it. No, it's just floating freely in space. And then he
I can't
playing
remember.
Chopin.
Probably adhesive as well.
Were space pirates around previously, or is this the first?
I think this is the first and only time, unless they show up in one of like the massive battles. But I think that might not be till one of the movies.
They don't really.
Yeah, I
bring
don't
up
remember
anything.
Space Pirates being a continual.
Because and maybe the reason they stuck in my head is that I've been playing the Worlds of Tomorrow game, and when you get to a certain level like that, they're around
I got
like
you.
a lot. I have to wait around because I'm not going to spend any fucking money to buy pizza
No.
and do that shit.
No.
But like, I'm slowly working my way through it, killing a lot of birds.
Oh, this episode
lot of-
was
lot of owls.
nominated for Writers Guild of America Award for animation, but did not win.
What did it say? What did win?
I'm not gonna go on a Wikipedia click.
I'll have to like bring it
Treasure
up
trail
3 or
right
4
now.
more times for you to get it, like the censored cartoon.
Yeah. When he went into the torpedo hole,
Yeah,
Torpedo number 3.
and they fired it, and like that, what starts the episode where they fire him out and everything like that. What does Legolas say? Something about we were going the speed of light or something like that when we shot him.
We were already going
Like-
max speed.
Oh,
We
max
shot
speed.
him, so we can't speed up to his speed
Because-
they were going full speed and shot something forward in space,
that-
which has no drag.
So that would
Yeah,
that
yeah,
literally
they would-
like
you'll
actually
nev-
like
you'd never be if you can
Even
only go
if
a max
you,
speed, you can't
rub the engine with cheetah blood, you
Right,
right.
you
catch up.
Well, that's one of those. I was just listening to something else, and they were making fun of James Bond because apparently, in one or many of the movies, there's a thing where like you can make yourself fall faster than something else, but like once you hit terminal velocity, that's as fast as you can go.
Yeah,
but
you know.
not in space.
Well, in space, there's no drag, but there's still it's I mean, and ultimately friction or a solid object would slow you down, right? I mean, there's less drag. It is a vacuum, but eventually you'll slow down, right?
Yeah,
eventually you don't get to figure that out because he freaks out right after they realize that they can't catch him. He starts slowing himself down with that bag of swag. Throwing it in the opposite direction, and then he throws the I think it's like a big dinner
Yeah, there's
serving
like a
tray,
serving
and he starts
tray
spinning,
and-
so he starts throwing it in the opposite direction so he can stop, and then he only has the Rolex and the candelabra, and he goes, what does he say? Like, hey universe, check out the dude with the Rolex, like
So did he got the swag bag when he passed through
the pirate ship.
Yeah, when he was used as a missile, he was able to snag
Went
a
through-
bag of booty.
It was
destroyed
after he
it.
got fired, and by the way, sexually harassed the torpedo. We forgot about
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Is that?
come back after
He
I
loves
got a
his
little bit of
curvy
sleep.
wife.
Yeah, that just happened. Oh my god, that what a week for misogyny on the internet. It was pretty great.
God.
The Google memo and all that stuff. It was great. Why did the pirate ships need sails though, or is this like the
They're soulless
gangster
sails.
car?
Yeah, it's just
So you know they're
it's
pirates.
so
Because
anachronistic.
it's
I think
visually funny.
Yeah, so you know they're pirates. Because
Yeah.
if they just showed up in a spaceship, you can automatically see with the sails and the three-eyed skull and crossbones.
Yes.
I like how he had 2 patches, by the way.
I didn't notice that.
He has 3 eyes and he has 2 patches, so he just has one.
He also had a
eye.
bunch of shoulders, and like there was a parrot on each thing of his shoulder.
Yeah. They're just like pirates amped up to the nth degree.
Oh my God.
What does he say? Like electronically transfer all your space doubloons? Like
Yeah. Yeah. Which, I mean, really, it's sort of like.
Davy
It's
Jar's
very
locker.
close to the HBO hack. Give us some Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were so ahead of themselves and ahead of like.
Send you right to Davy Jarg's locker, bro. I mean, it's just so silly.
I never really followed up on my pirate history to know what that Davy Jones was about. I always picture the guy from the Monkees.
That's how I picture the exact same thing, and I don't want to look it up because it'll ruin that picture. in
right.
my
Just
brain.
a genial little.
Literally, it's a gym locker that
Yeah.
he's sitting in at the bottom of the ocean.
It probably
That's all
has
I
Peter
think.
Tork stuffed in it, just because.
Just with a track playing because they're not actually doing his instruments. Like he's just like
He's just
he's
miming
lip
it.
syncing. And even at
Miming
the
or-
bottom of the ocean, the monkeys
Yo
are still
ho,
miming.
yo
Yeah.
ho.
They're
Just like just opening his mouth. Oh,
that's like really. It took me a long time to understand what that show was about. Like. Because when I was a kid and it would
the
show
monkeys?
up the monkeys, yeah, because it showed up in syndication, but like in 1988, completely devoid of context.
right.
So it was just like, what is this about? And then like I knew who he was already from him showing up on the Brady Bunch.
Oh, okay,
But
yeah.
even then, that was a 15-year too late cameo. So there was a lot of those. You're just like, hey, it's Don Drysdale, and like number one, I don't know who Don Drysdale is in the first place, but then like why is that a big deal? None of that made any sense. But then when
You're
they
like, why are all these people from the Match Game on the Brady Bunch?
yeah, or like they'd show up. I think they syndicated the Monkees first on MTV. Like that's probably where I saw it first.
What a weird
Yeah, well,
MTV man. You've changed.
they had that. They'd do Monty Python for a while.
That's the MTV I want. I want to watch Monty Python on syndication.
Yeah, the young ones. They
Yeah.
like because they were just trying to fill time. There's like 14 videos they could play
Right.
at any given time, so they had to do something. So they'd buy up this old stuff, and now it's just I don't even know.
Do you think now they're like, do you think we should start playing music videos? Like we only have 14 episodes of this reality show. Like, do you think we need to fill time? Like we did, and they just go back, and then 30 years from now, it's just music videos and nothing but it. And it's just
I'm sure it'll be
They can just wait until the
Completely
teen
cyclical.
mom's babies grows up, and then
yeah.
that. What's funny about that
Teen
is
moms, the second generation. Like
That will be a show.
oh, I'm sure.
absolutely.
the
No way they're doing a good enough job raising those kids
with
for it not to be a
32-year-old
show.
It's just gonna be called 32-year-old grandma.
yeah is I'm trying to think of the physics still about that thing where they would expel him from a ship going as fast as it can. Theoretically, the propulsive force of
And I think you have to not count that he also hit the pirate ship. Like, because they don't seem to figure that in any sort of resistance. Like, he just flies right through the pirate ship.
yeah,
ba-
but then there
bag in
was another
hand.
explosion which might have propelled him further.
Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah,
they
that's when the
pirate-
captain he
yeah,
figures out that his only treasure is
was his children.
I missed that line. Did
Yeah,
you really
right.
say that?
Yeah, right before he blows up, he goes, "Oh, my whole life now I finally realize that the only real treasure was my children," and it just explodes.
I'll probably have a
There's like-
similar realization one of these days.
There's at least 2 times that people are like at the end of their lives in this episode, like maybe if I do this, it'll change, and then like explodes.
It all falls
Yeah,
apart.
yeah, I mean
Maybe
it happens all the time in this episode.
But that's what I was wondering though. When we were talking about him taking this stuff
Yeah.
out of the swag bag, if he was making himself lighter, wouldn't that actually make him go faster?
I don't know, actually. I would think since he's, to me in my brain, it seems to make sense that if he throws something in the opposite direction that he's moving, that it would
He'd
resist.
like kind of get some momentum.
Yeah,
going
'cause-
backwards.
But also Pinewood Derby cars.
I don't know, like
Lighter cars aren't going to go as fast as
as a
heavier
heavier
cars.
car. That's true.
very true. And I don't know, does that really matter if I shot something that's a pound and something that's 10 pounds in space?
Yeah,
You know what I
probably
mean?
not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
what the. I don't know if weight, I don't know how much weight in space really matters.
the whole thing is like there's a joke somewhere, and I'm not smart enough to know the physics
Yeah, there's
of all the
There's
jokes.
some physicists that are like, "That's hilarious."
Yeah.
And everybody else is like,
I've got a
'Cause he
friend
had,
who's a physicist.
dinner plate that didn't fit? Like, is that why it's funny? Like,
I should get him.
No,
on the
because
phone.
if the square root of the speed of sound plus, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
There are some like kind of ridiculously hidden jokes.
Those, I mean, that's what I mean. There is like
there
it's
really
just
are. Like what he plays on the piano from the name of Malachi. Like it all has something to do with the
Yeah.
rest of the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, so the Shrimpkins show up on the asteroid that just kind of beans into him when he goes to this asteroid field.
Yeah, one goes through his head, and you think he's dead for about a half second, and then he just realizes it hurts a little bit.
Well,
And then he
so
gets hit with the.
are the
one that sticks
Shrimpkins
to him.
It's
recurrent?
after he carves, by the way, the Carl Sagan.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, so when they find me, they'll know what the score was. It's like
Which
him-
promptly disappears. Continuity error that drove me nuts in this.
Yeah, it's there for like the first couple times you see the Shrimpkins, but then it totally disappears. Yeah, it's gone
That record, that golden record, is still out there in space
somewhere.
with the naked people on it.
I only wish it had a robot that was larger
What
than the
w-
people,
what was the-
scaring the people.
What was it on that they put out? It was the
I think it was on one of the Voyager
Yeah, I think you're right.
spacecraft. So it's basically like a calling card to invite aliens to come back and kill us all.
Was it Voyager?
I think it's one of
it
those.
was Voyager. For some reason, I'm thinking it's Orion in my head. But
I mean,
think
it was
you might
like
be right.
full on 70s
Yeah.
deal.
Oh, it's a long time ago.
And it's like it's got the pictures
out by, like, Neptune
and
or Pluto
directions. And then the other side, if they can figure out how to play it, it just says hello in like 200 languages or something.
I heard, and they're like ambient sounds, like birds.
Maybe,
There's
yeah.
also stuff like in the background too, so it shows like what Earth would sound like with water rushing, birds chirping. I thought I heard or remembered. Maybe I'm making all.
It's
of
an
that off the top.
invitation to just fucking come and kill us,
Right,
basically.
like obviously, look how soft we are. Like
Yeah.
two pretty people, birds, and the word hello.
come beat up this hipster planet.
Yeah, their grooming is terrible, man.
They don't have lasers, and I bet they have tons of rock. Let's go. Like,
Yeah,
But they weren't expecting the rock that we have, and then they get here and we play like a
Dwayne-
song for them. we play Freebird, and they're like, "Okay, it's cool."
in my head, I thought it was like they don't know the rock we have, and they show up and like Dwayne Johnson.
Johnson
like,
comes and beats the shit out of all the
shit
aliens.
out of them. Yeah, like
Well, that's what we distract him with Freebird, and then Dwayne the Rock Johnson comes in and kicks the shit out of all the
we
aliens.
like just put a lighter in their hand and be like, look, and
Yeah.
like, hold it up, and then yeah.
Do
or
you smell what the earth is cooking?
oh god, what if it was Kid Rock covering Freebird like that? Like they would total misdirect.
In that case, I would be like, just kill us all.
Yeah, just this is a pretty
Is it-
bad.
Is this where you're bombing? Cool, we're good with this.
Yeah, Detroit adjacent. We'd probably get hit in that, but deserve it.
It's okay,
worth it.
man. If it takes out
For the greater
Toledo,
good,
it might not
yeah.
be that bad.
Yeah, like he's gonna be a president in like 2024, and that's just we're headed down that path right now, and it's fucking
At the
terrifying.
inauguration, like, my name is King.
There's already that dickhead congressman that was vaping in the like State of the Union.
Yeah, what was that? Yeah, I know.
He was the guy that yelled out at Obama's last State of the Union.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
But like just like radiates douche.
real class act.
And he's a real politician, and now the door's open for that stuff to come in. It's just gonna get fucked up.
I blame Sonny Bono.
Absolutely, him and the guy from the Love Boat, they ruined it. Are the Shrimpkins recurrent, or is this their only
No,
appearance?
this
This
is
is
their
the only
only-
appearance.
So this is like an existential sort of a microcosm.
Yeah.
There were a lot of really heavy philosophical things in
yeah.
this.
I'm talking even the name Malachi is funny to me because that's something that that's Sunday school.
Yeah, that's
in my
straight out of the
brain.
Bible.
So that's the last book in the Old Testament.
or
Malachi.
Children of the Corn.
I was about to say that as well.
There you go. I didn't even think.
So
about
what's
that
Malachi's deal in the canon?
one. So in the canon, it's the last book of the Old Testament. So this is where it now is the end of the beginning.
Yeah.
Also, Malachi is not known if it's a real human or not because Malachi literally means the messenger.
Oh.
Right. So it's widely believed by some circles that Malachi is written by many people.
Huh.
That, like Malachi is almost a title instead of a name
Or an alien?
or an alien, right?
Okay.
One may never know.
But not a girl.
Absolutely not. Definitely not a girl.
They purged those
Yeah.
those scriptures right the fuck out. Like,
Not letting them writing no shit down.
no.
They need
They
their
shouldn't even
long-winded
learn them how to
story.
read.
Yeah.
Talking about feelings and stuff. It's garbage.
Oh, I did want to mention the song that he's playing though.
Yeah.
That he starts to practice. That's a Chopin piece in C minor.
Okay.
He wrote a contemporary piece in A minor, or in A major. And the A major version is regarded as the song of like Poland's triumph.
Okay.
Whereas the one that Bender plays, the C minor version, is regarded as the song of Poland's tragedy and was supposedly written by a lonesome Chopin in a monastery in the mountains.
But isn't C minor the relative
To
A major? So it's like
Yes.
basically the same thing?
It's basically the same thing, but if you actually pay attention to the piece, you can tell that in the C minor version, his main hand is the left, where he's doing like accompaniment with his right to make everything sound like awful and dark and out of place. Like, I don't know what Chopin was going through at this time, but like the whole movement, it's like there's like 12 minutes, 8 minutes long, something like that. It's just
first
like,
off,
it literally feels like the saddest thing you've ever heard without any words.
He's in a monastery.
Right.
So not a lot of talking,
Right.
not a lot of fun, probably a lot of manual labor, not a lot of ladies. Maybe a lot of drinking.
I would assume a decent amount of drinking. I feel like monks and they
In
like
Poland
their booze.
especially.
Hey man, they like their vodka for sure.
That was I spent 2.
And that does tie into Bender's first commandment,
Which
and
is-
only.
Hey, his
give
first
me
and only
booze?
commandment. That's a good
Yeah.
call, right? God
It's,
needs booze.
There was not a lot of Zoidberg in this, but where he showed up,
The one Zoidberg
Was-
line is the best Zoidberg line ever.
like locally overpowering the smelloscope.
Right, and as you're talking about like kids smelling too much and putting on cologne, all I can think is like, but your son probably is like, "Yay, people notice me now!" Like,
Right.
like you think that's why they put on too much cologne so they can get noticed?
I'm
Like,
trying to mask the natural pheromones because then it would just be a free for all.
right. I gotta cover it up.
Doing
man.
a public service here.
I'm just ducking it at this point. Just dodging.
I will make sure that I mention that to my son that his cologne is bad and he should feel bad.
Next time he gets in the car, just be like, "Your cologne is bad, and you."
I mean,
should
have you thought that before?
No,
Or
I
you
tell him. I mean, I don't say it smells bad. I just say it's overpowering.
Yeah.
And that's like all it is. But like I'm not in love with the smell of it. I mean, it's. I'm not a cologne guy, so
Right.
I don't.
Cologne's
I don't.
bad, and you should feel.
The helper that they bring in, like where did they pull him in from?
Dude, I don't know where.
And
this
does he
will.
come back?
I don't think
Because he was
Helper's-
really
is-
good.
Helper's not in any of the episodes before this, correct?
No.
Or is he? No,
Just
he's not.
Flexo.
Oh, Helper,
So
the robot.
Yeah,
The
I was
fake
like,
Bender,
wanna
like
go
the
to
friendly
an-
Bender.
He's
Yeah.
going,
friendly
want to go to an amusement park? He's like, I mean, yeah, I guess that sounds good. And he's like, well, have a good time. Like,
Hey, your friend Bender's back.
really? He's like, no, I just
No,
thought
but
you'd enjoy that.
for a moment.
Yeah, no, for a moment. That's the key. I love that. Yeah, for a moment. Yeah, helper, and he's literally and doesn't help anything. Which is ironic because most of the time Bender does not bend
No,
anything.
no, it's rare. But so coming back to the Shrimpkins, like they were on that chunk of asteroid. Was
hurling
that
through
part
space.
of like an even big? Like, are there more and more, or was that just?
The chunk that hits him
Yeah.
that the Shrimpkins are on doesn't break off. Like, that's the whole chunk.
Yeah.
And they seem, when they meet him, to say, like, we're the Shrimp. They didn't seem like they lost many people in the travels.
No.
They all stand up, and the lines are all nice and even. So they obviously have formed that.
Their little village.
Yeah, and they all kind of stand up and bow, and then he picks the random
We don't know.
dude.
We don't know how long that asteroid field has been floating through space either.
I don't
Could have
know
been like tons and tons of years.
Yeah, I don't know the time progression of a Shrimpkin.
would seem to
I
be
didn't-
like a self-contained ecosystem. Like they must have. Well, they
And they built everything up pretty quickly. I mean, I
Yeah.
know in this episode, it's one of those ones where an amount of time passes, but you don't actually know exactly how much, but it's a significant amount because when Fry is at the satellite or at the telescope, like looking through everything, they're like, they've been in there for at least a week. So
Yeah.
it could have been months.
Yeah, that's the only time signature I think you get in this whole episode. She's like, you've been at it for X amount of days. You should probably give it up. But yeah, before that, it could have been. Well, months.
False
We
hope or
ate our
not.
shoes and now we're bored.
Yeah, it could have been. They cooked their shoes in the dryer.
In the
That was
dryer, now we're bored. I like that they're not hungry; they're just bored.
Yeah.
This is the worst crazy sect I've ever been in.
That I like that too. I mean, it was just.
don't know.
I think at that point where it kind of diverged into an A and a B story, really, where it was
Okay.
all Bender, and then just the
Fry's
Fry and Leela
tenacity.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fry's tenacity to find Bender, and like Leela's like, hey, he's gone, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Because he's kind of an asshole. Like, they could have
yeah.
just gotten Flexo, rousted him up from wherever he's at, and it wouldn't have been much of a net loss.
Not just take that little beard off.
Yeah.
But Fry's got that connection to Bender, and that's one of the reasons when you get to later episodes, there's a lot of sadness when Fry's not around Bender, even though he never wants to admit it.
Yeah.
Like, they are best friends.
I love that though. That like, but Fry thinks they're best friends. But like when he's reminiscing about Bender, the picture is Bender holding off of the Statue of
He
Liberty.
decided not to let
kill
go.
me.
Yeah, and then the next picture that he remembers him by is apparently a painting Bender had commissioned of him as Napoleon with his signature gigantic on the painting. It just says Bender, and he's just dressed like them. So like I know they're best friends, and obviously like I've watched it all and have seen their relationship grow and stuff. But I think at this point, like I'm not real sure if Bender considers them best friends. I think they are, but I think he also considers him as like just a meatbag human.
But he
Yeah.
also he would be incredibly sad if he wasn't there.
Very true.
Just like
That's a
when
good point.
when it's the Beast with a Billion Backs, we're jumping ahead to the movies. He can't live without Fry.
Very true. Yeah,
And
he
even
does-
even right at the beginning,
when they get separated through universes, yeah, that's
Through,
right. That's like the hardest thing Bender ever goes through. So,
even
yeah.
when they can't live together in like the second or third episode, Bender is, he's not
he's-
drinking. He's all
super-
depressed.
He's all rusty
Right, yeah,
and
rusty. Yep, I remember that.
He'll
That's
even
a
cut off his
fair point.
antenna in order to live with Fry.
That's right.
That's
Well, in season 3, though, he's dangling Fry from the stage.
I mean, like Bender definitely doesn't seem happy to be adrift in space. Like it's something where he's separated, but he's also sort of resigned to it. Because I mean, I guess what the fuck are you gonna do? And then he's got this distraction with the Shrimpkins.
He just kind of maintains until the next distraction.
Yeah, like
He's
that
got a
whole
piano,
thing with them.
gets upset, Shrimpkins happen, they go away. Then he meets Binary God. In
But-
between, he
but
seems
didn't he?
not
He
so
still
content.
had the Shrimpkins when he got to Binary.
No,
Didn't he?
because
They-
what
they
happened
nuked-
was
they annihilated themselves.
they destroyed each other. Well, because he saved Malachi's son.
Yeah.
And then everyone started getting jealous, and there's Shrimpkins that revolted, went to the backside of Bender.
Because God even says, he goes, I was God once, and then Binary God goes, I saw you were doing well, and then until everyone died.
Yeah.
Which is a great line.
But one thing that was refreshing about the Shrimpkin civilization collapse is that they still developed their own like porno theaters and stuff with Ezekiel's Nasty
Right.
House.
Oh, yeah, Ezekiel's Nasty House. That's
Now,
and nuclear weapons, way faster
Yeah.
than North Korea.
Yeah, they've been at it for like 60 years and just figured it out. Is that
two separate Shrimpkin societies made nuclear weapons.
Well, one
with
probably stole
technically
it.
in a generation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they're small like that, they like fruit flies. A generation is like
I mean, that kid was still
But that's
alive.
been
Like, they were all
even
the
faster.
same age. The kid was still the same age though when he lands on.
that's true.
Like he's still like they seemingly haven't progressed in age.
And we don't
yet.
know what was going on inside that rock that they
Hundreds
came
of-
from.
Right.
It could have just been a plutonium rock.
Are
Well, they did find his nuclear pile.
That's right.
is there a biblical reference to Ezekiel having nasty houses or something like that? Was he like?
To be fair, I can't remember, but possibly.
Or was-
'cause the
wait, he
Bible
was-
is raunchy.
Was he another one that was like he flew down in a spaceship?
No,
I thought there was like 4 or 5 prophets who were like he was on a fiery wheel in the sky and then just showed
it's
up.
either flew down on a spaceship or up in a chariot.
Although I do know there is some gross stuff in Ezekiel. I just saw some memes with Ezekiel. Just
He's on
like
those
people
Bible memes.
Yeah, well, it's just like when someone goes, "Oh, there's nothing like this in the Bible." Then like someone goes like, "And the man lay with beasts, and everyone was fine." Blah blah blah. Like,
Right.
like sucking and
It's like,
fucking.
I don't know, is there some story? It's like I think it's in Kings 2 where like children make fun of a prophet's baldness. So then like a bear comes and
And eats
murders
them,
the
yeah.
children. Yeah. It's in the Kings 2. It's incredible. It's a great story. Just for the kids.
I'm still trying to get through Game of Thrones, but I might have to read the Bible.
I mean,
next.
if you want to do you have a couple hours? We can go down that path someday.
well, that'll be for the sister podcast,
There we
Bible Talk.
There we go.
Or atheistic Bible talk. That'll go over well. Like actually, that might be shit. Well, this is recorded, right? We can do like poor man's copyright on it. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably out there already. Fucking internet.
but not our version.
No, we'll be extra dirty.
I think I'm going back a little bit, but Malachi was reading the Bible on Bender, and it was the Bible by Bender with Malachi.
Well, I mean,
I didn't even see that.
He wrote it through. Yeah, amazing.
So wait,
with
so
Malachi.
was that where he started giving him the commandments and stuff? Was that
I think he gave
from
him the
that
commandment,
point?
and then
God needs
after
booze.
That, yeah,
Yeah, and then he
after that
saved the
starts-
kid, and then he had to try and even everything out.
We did kind of like we talked about them going to visit the monks in the telescope. The part where they were preparing Fry and Leela to go on like the pre-made pack mule where he just
Yeah.
lifts it off with the hook.
And he like stabs the Sherpa
Yeah.
after that. Like, yeah.
And you just hear the screaming off camera.
Right.
So great.
I mean, that was like I really don't have a lot of experience with getting outfitted for outdoor gear, so that's kind of how I imagine it in the first place. Like it's just I need a
Kind
pack
of.
horse, and then
I
here
literally,
it is. With
I
everything
literally
you need.
work at a hunting lodge right now. Like
Really?
Yeah, that's like what I'm doing right now. And yeah, that's kind of how it is.
How does that
we don't
work?
Have, we don't have pack mules and stuff, but I wish.
So
that'd be
people
so-
just show up, and you're just like, "Here's a gun.
Yeah, people
here's
are
some
like-
beef jerky."
And here's the deer you need to shoot.
People show up and just kind of tell me where they're going and like what they think the weather's like. And they're just like, they just kind of throw their hands in the air like, I don't know. So like Fry, like, hey, I'm going to the Arctic I'm going to the North Pole. I need a long jacket. Like, you know what I mean? Like people are like, so should I take pants? And it's like, where are you going? It's like, oh, I'm going to Alaska. It's like probably one pair.
Pants are good.
Yeah. They're like, so like the top of my tent, like it doesn't exist. It's a big hole. And I'm just wondering, like, should I go to like a place that it rains constantly? And I'm just like, nah, you shouldn't do that. Like, you have to tell people these commonsensical things.
Oh God.
A man once asked me. He said like he was holding a gun that he was looking at.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was a 22, and he goes, so this is a gun. And I went, yeah, it's a
True.
I was like, that's a 22, and he goes, so if I were to shoot something with this, the bullet would like go through it, right? And I'm like, have you shot a gun before, sir? And he's like, just my BB gun. And I was like, maybe today's not the day for you. And he's like, no, I'm just wondering. And I was like, well, a 22 will probably go in and maybe not exit. And he goes, okay, well, I'm going to need something bigger then. And that was the end of that one. I was like, I don't feel comfortable selling you a gun.
Well, if you shoot two 22s at the same time, it's like a 44.
It's a 44, bro. Yeah, man, people come in all the time. They're like, I got to go hiking in mud. What should I do? Buy boots. Please, for the love of God, don't wear those Converse.
Those Crocs are fine.
Are flip-flops okay in the Adirondacks? Or
Probably not.
Wait.
are you moving?
Have you
or
got patchouli? Then you're fine.
how much peyote are you going to bring? All of it? Then you're fine.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
No problem. There's a hunting lot. So wait, is this like there are grounds that people can hunt on, but also if they want to come in and get ready to go hunting elsewhere?
No,
or?
so I am just a place where people can come to buy the things and speak to people that camp and do
That know
survival
what they're
stuff,
doing.
that know what
do
they're
you
doing.
ever, you're like, you're hunting the most dangerous game?
Come on, you can tell me.
A few times.
Are
A
you
few
looking
times,
for long pig?
Usually people who are hunting the most dangerous game just come in and obviously aren't going hunting. They're like, hey, what's up, man? I don't need any camo gear, no hunting gear. I just need that gun right now.
Yeah, that
How quick can
machete's
I-"
probably good too.
Right. Let me get 4 of those machetes. Let me get 2 of those shotguns.
You have any plastic wrap?
And if any minorities come in here,
I need that
let me
bull-
know.
Right.
Tell them to come to my house and break in.
Need a ski mask and a bullhorn, and I'm ready to go. Like, all right. Okay, sir. Looks like you've got some plans.
Do you have any flash grenades?
Headed to a movie theater.
Yeah, just to partake.
Fit in a bucket of popcorn?
That's my favorite part of going to Harbor Freight is like on top of the tools and things, and they're just like, here's our aisle of machetes.
Yup.
and flamethrowers. Like, have you ever seen one of those weed torches?
Yep.
And not like,
Oh, they're great.
yeah, like that's just,
That's a flamethrower. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's legit a flamethrower. It's awesome.
But you can buy it like over the counter.
Yeah, dude, you don't even need ID. You
No.
just go and be like, I just want a flamethrower. It's like, whoa. We call them weed torches. Like, oh, okay, all right.
Not for that kind of
Take one of
weed,
your
just for,
quote-unquote weed torches, and then
your hostas and dandelions are getting a little out of control. It'll take care of that.
I'm like, I need a flamethrower right now. It's like, hold on.
Also take care of Charlie.
What size do you need? Because I have so many in stock.
But now if I want to buy Sudafed, I need to show my ID.
I mean,
Well,
Cold
Bill, you
medicine.
can't buy Sudafed anywhere around here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've worn out your welcome on
I
that.
have, but I made enough money.
You can get it black market now. And my stupid notes, I didn't put who said it, but was it Bender or Binary God that just said right and wrong are just words?
That's binary God.
Yeah.
Right and wrong are just words. It only matters what you do. And he goes, yeah, I know. That's why I just asked you. Like, you know what? Forget
I
it.
love how sassy he is with Binary God.
Yeah, so is the backstory that Binary God is God that got hit by a space probe and
It was,
they
I think
combined?
it was a highly specialized space computer that collided with God at some point to produce binary God.
Yeah. And binary God is just the name.
Yeah, like he's
Of
just
it.
God. He just happened to be signaling in binary. But to be fair, we could call him English God because he learns English really quickly too.
Yes.
So
Like those Facebook AIs that
Right.
created their own language all of a sudden.
That is so creepy.
it's so weird.
it
dude.
is,
I
but-
looked to shop for something on Google and then the ad pops up on Facebook. I'm
Isn't
just
that
not
the,
into it.
That would be the greatest excuse for someone like just trashing like a company thing on Twitter. Just be like, I don't know, the bot just started going off.
Well, so this
bot is racist.
To be fair, I didn't read the Facebook AI. I just looked at the clickbait headline and
Right.
let it go. But I did talk to someone who read it, and they talked me down on the whole thing and said, yes, that's what happened, but that's what they were trying to have happen. So as soon as it happened, they were like, oh, great success, and then they shut it all down. It was just like, can these two machines communicate in the most effective and efficient way possible?
got you.
So it worked.
Because it basically, from what I read, and I didn't have some expert explain to me, is they turned English into like a 0-1 situation.
Yeah.
And so they just made it incredibly efficient and dull, like where this hi means this.
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm going to go over there. Or
I mean, and-
I want to read this book. Like,
And you
it
can
just-
do that as like cryptography because it's really just
It's Pig Latin.
yeah, you can encrypt anything. So like just the colors that you see on a website when they code them in hexadecimal, it's just these 6 digits, whether they're letters or numbers or whatever, it's just a combination that means this specific color.
Yeah, exactly.
There's actually there's a website.
But
that,
decoding it is the thing that makes me nervous. Is if they had left that machine in longer, like so they were communicating with each other, how long would it take before they're exchanging all this information that they have? And obviously these two machines weren't set up for that. But
I think the only thing that really
if it was like true AI, could get to that point where they're
How-
thinking beyond what we comprehend.
How long would it take for it to sound like Scarlett Johansson, and how long would it take for Joaquin Phoenix to try and fuck it? That's really the only stuff we need to worry about. I got into these weird continuity things towards the end of the episode. The one was the carving and Bender's thing, right?
Why does this stuff bother you so much?
Yeah,
there's
that one I would-
there's no cartoon that is continually like perfect.
It just
Well,
It's a cartoon.
I think that one. I think you got to give a little leeway, man. The Shrimpkins are obviously
They could've-
they're tilling the
okay.
land. They introduce a new kind of weird, it's like a cornfield up
There's
here.
nuclear
Plus there's-
explosions on his body.
Yeah,
I
and
know,
there's radiation in
but-
space, and
Yeah.
that's
but look,
gonna tear
I-
apart.
I think what it is.
What are they
Not,
breathing?
not to mention all of these explosions make sound.
I think what it is,
Like,
right?
doesn't
Because it's a
exist,
vacuum.
right.
Well, he's talking to them in
I know,
space.
exactly,
So
right.
there's that. But I
Like-
think with Futurama especially, one because I got to talk about something, so why not nitpick weird shit? But number two, they spend so much time
They really
doing attention
are
to detail on things like
detail-oriented.
math jokes, where it's just like, oh, well, they let the lazy animators leave earmuffs on Leela inside for a week.
In a way, I think
You
that's
know.
kind of funny though. Like that they're so nitpicky about is the math correct? Are my equations right? And then they draw Bender incorrectly.
Yeah,
with
'cause
like
it-
3 eyes. Like that
well,
to me would be funny. Is
Like a
that-
couple episodes ago, Sal had a different T-shirt color within
Right.
30 seconds. It's just like, you guys, come on! Like that's such a
but
low
again,
thing.
that is a money decision because they noticed it, but they said we
Fuck
don't
it.
we don't have the budget to send this back to
It's-
Korea,
that's
have them
probably
draw
true.
it again, and then
Because
bring
if
it
you
back.
noticed it, I'm sure someone noticed.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that it got unnoticed.
I really think it's.
I thought I
probably-
discovered it after 17 years.
These episodes are in the can for almost a year before they actually air.
Right.
yeah, that's a good point.
It's I don't know. The only other thing that really bugged me was the stubble on Fry's face. And again, it's not that, like, of course he'd have stubble. It was just like, it was so poorly drawn that it looked like somebody just shook pepper on his face.
But also,
I took that as that he's just shitty at growing a beard. He's not. He's not, because we end up seeing a beard in a later episode. But at this point, like, I just took it like Fry's just a child, man, like a little man boy, and he can't grow a beard very well, so he just comes in all patchy and shitty.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But then again, he does get a beard in later episodes, but that's after he is even older.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, he's
so like
way
I remember, like
older
I tried to
and-
grow a beard when I was 23, and it was garbage. And then by the time I was like 26, I could grow a decent beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never tried.
For
And
me
at this
too.
point, it would just make me look way older with all the grays and the whites in it. So
Nah, but you
Fair
might
enough.
actually look
you
even
look-
younger.
Favorite quote of all time in a Futurama episode is in this episode, and it's right before the nuclear apocalypse happens on Bender.
Yeah.
And it's Malachi, and he looks right at Bender, and he says something about a plan so we can be closer to thee, or so we can truly be with thee.
Yeah.
And Bender goes, "You're already with me. This is the maximum level of being with me." And then they just blow each other up. It's amazing.
Binary God had tentacles all of a sudden? I didn't
No, well, we
understand
could
that
just
part.
create. I think it's like a. In my head, it's just
Does
like
matter is energy,
I think it's
energy
like
is
a
matter.
matter.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't count him as.
We
like,
missed
he's
the
not
whole
like a
part of
Cthulhu.
them of Fry actually searching for Bender at the monastery, like in the monastery where they
Yeah.
lock him in
Doesn't,
the.
doesn't Lur answer at one point?
Yes.
Or someone with like
Oh.
Lur's voice.
Leave me alone.
He's like, "Is Bender here?" He's like, "No, stop asking." Or something like that. It's amazing. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's hilarious.
Just the
That they strictly use their kung fu for meditation purposes. So they're a nonviolent sect.
Like a giant karaoke system? No, but want to see our giant karaoke.
Not really.
That was Maurice LaMarche doing the voice of the one monk, right? And he was like, he like very Orson Welles.
Yes.
Like,
He goes,
You mean my Twitter friend, Maurice LaMarche?
nice.
really. Oh.
Most of the voice actors follow back.
Nice. That's what's up. And he goes, "So what does he say?" He goes, "Maybe if he's searching for his friend, maybe that is God." And he's like, "Oh, how convenient. a God that doesn't involve looking through a telescope. Get back to work."
and when they get like actually like put into the laundry room, this is the worst like crazy
Sex
sex
I've
I've
ever
ever been.
All right, and we cooked our shoes in the dryer and we ate them.
Now we're bored.
Now we're bored. Let us
And
out.
they're monks.
right.
But yeah, they should have just been meditating or doing kung fu in that room or whatever. It's,
Obviously, they're just the best monks.
yeah, well, they live in the North Pole in a golden telescope.
Yeah, and with the
Himalayas.
walkway that looks like a
Was it the Himalayas?
Yeah.
rickety bridge, but it's a walkway. Like the donkey steps on it. And it
Oh,
just, like,
yeah, and then
starts
it's the moving sidewalk thing. Yeah, that's.
And then I think like what aren't Fry and Leela like pissed because the donkey's not moving?
Yeah,
So
because
they're
it's like, please step aside for
other pilgrims, I think.
quicker pilgrims. Or
I had a gigantic, long travel day last Friday, and there is nothing worse than you get on those fucking moving sidewalks at an airport, and some asshole is just like, and everybody was pretty good like all day long, and then the last leg of my last flight, and I had to haul ass from one terminal to another, and there's just like
Of course.
these two 20-something women, maybe even in their 30s, which is more like it's like they were old enough to know better,
right.
camped out like across from each other right in the middle of the thing. So there's no way through. And it just like, I think she's eating a bag of beef jerky or something, like sitting on her suitcase. I'm like, you just fucking left to move and right to stand. It's on every goddamn sign for these things. I become increasingly less tolerant of bad travelers now that I have to do it so much. Cause it's just basic common sense stuff.
And courtesy too.
Yeah.
Like you have to understand that other people have places to go, and those are two people that are just like, it's all about me.
Until the day we die, I think there's probably going to be a-holes going under the speed limit in the left lane. I mean, it's just how it goes.
It's
awful and ridiculous. And with every day that passes, it affects me more and more
especially like now that I
mentally
got
and emotionally. But
now that I got my TSA pre-check, it's really off the charts because just like there's no reason for anything to be moving slowly at all anymore. It's just bad, and that actually ties back.
I wish they would call it the TSA white person entitlement.
Look,
the white privilege.
Look, I had to go to an H&R Block on West 25th and talk to a a young Eastern European woman dressed like Madonna in 1985 with a very high voice to get that pass and pay my $85. I didn't do anything special, just paid a little bit extra money.
Super easy, yeah.
And had to go through that. And that, if anything, it just reinforced that like this is all bullshit because if this lady is in charge of our national security, like for an extra $15, that probably could have gone a whole different way. It was very bizarre.
So you're bribing someone to get past having to
Yeah, the
wait.
government.
Yeah.
I mean-
clearly it is built on bribes, the entire system. I mean, the white person entitlement thing is clear, which is like a pay service where you pay for it and they take all your biometrics and then you just get walked to the front of the line. Whether you have TSA
I've had it
pre-check or not.
before. Like I had it through default.
Yeah.
Because like I've never paid for it, but when I for the radio show we got to go to Jamaica and Alan has it, and so we all got it too.
Yeah.
And it's great. I need to get
really
it.
is.
I need to get it before the next time I fly.
My trial membership is running out.
It's like
3
the
weeks.
fast pass at Cedar Point.
Exactly like that. Well, that's the thing. They don't
So
have
good.
it in Cleveland, which is where it's sort of dumb because it's like $15 a month or something like kind of extravagant if you're not using it.
Right.
But
But if you're traveling all the time,
but it's
go
not
for
in
it.
every airport. And then the other part of it is in places like New York and I think LA, like they've rolled it out in like stadiums and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So you can just like walk up and then you go through. And I can see where the applications are, but that's basically like I have enough money to pay for this bullshit, so let me through.
Right.
Because there's one thing that terrorists don't have, it's money.
Yeah, exactly. They're not funded by anything. They're not willing to kind of falsify or do whatever. All I know is that now I don't have to take off my talking about my horrible travel experience the other day.
Right.
Because it was like forest fires and electrical problems and trucks driving into bridges and shit. But
But you didn't have to take your shoes off at the airport.
I didn't have to take off my shoes at the airport, which immediately felt better because as soon as you do that, you feel tainted for the rest of the day. But the quote that you brought up from this episode was perfect.
By a wide margin, this is the least likely thing to ever happen.
Yeah, it was really serendipitous to see that come through
Right.
at the end. And then I guess this all ties back to the thing about kids and like non-interfering and fucking things up. But like, if you do it right, people won't even notice that you did anything at all.
Yep.
That's-
People won't be sure you've done anything at all.
I love that quote.
Yeah.
Like,
Amazing.
that's like a very like philosophical, like just great quote out of
like,
stupid
I think
cartoon
it's
show.
dumb. I want credit.
What?
I think it's dumb. I want credit. I want people to know that I did something.
I mean,
Can't you at least like tag me in the?
I mean,
throw me a thank you.
I think people can know that you did something, but I think according to Binary God, you did it wrong.
the adult thing is to just feel satisfaction in knowing it's a
guess.
job well done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dumb.
Super dumb.
That's so
I agree.
dumb. I hate binary. God no.
Being an adult
credit.
sucks too.
Yeah.
I like he gets down to Earth. I like when first of all, when he's flying through Earth and he gets to the atmosphere and he's like, hot. And like,
Where did Binary God get that parachute from?
That's like
We just materialized it. I guess.
I mean, I feel like Binary God could probably find one or make one.
We
right?
pull an hour of content out of our asses every week. I'm sure that Binary God can make a
know,
parachute.
the
out of
show-
it.
ooh, an hour. That's so much.
The show is real believable.
Like
but that
an hour for free, Bill.
Yeah, our show's also free.
Well,
I get paid.
You
for
get
it,
paid
but
to
yeah,
do
okay,
it.
good point. All right. Take that.
On that
But
note,
also, like, I'm going to cut you off real quick. It's like whenever someone tells me, like, I'll make a post or something, and they'll be like, "Oh, Bill, you're such a good dad." I'm like, "Well, because I only post. Like, I don't post like, boy, I really want to punch my kid in the face right now." So yeah, like, I'm a good dad in that I don't actually hurt my children,
Right.
But like, let's curb the
I don't
you're the
physically harm
best
them.
dad ever shit. I post very little things about my life and talk about it very
Right.
little because I don't want people to like. I'm not trying to get people's approval. Like, I know what kind of dad I am.
yeah.
And I'm sure you're the same way. Like, you don't need to be like, hey, look at how good my kid's doing. Like, I feel like anytime you're doing that, you're trying to overcompensate for
Yeah.
shitty things that you're doing.
It's not a performance.
exactly.
It is a fearful like challenge every goddamn day of my
Exactly.
life. So those small victories are nice.
Right. Now you can wrap it up.
Okay, yeah. And anyway, thank you for guest hosting, Bill. Always a pleasure to have you on.
You're welcome.
Thank you for regular special guesting, Sebastian.
Hey, no
Always nice
problem.
to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Do you guys have, I don't know who gets to plug first, if it's Sebastian or Bill.
Sebastian.
Oh, yeah, we have a
Guest first.
Guest
Because
first.
he's technically a co-host right now.
That's true.
Thundercougarfalconhawk, TCFH.
Yeah.
Thundercougarfalconhawk, man. We've got 2 EPs coming out later this year.
I thought it was 4.
2, well, you've heard that it's a 4 package deal. It's just it's a ludicrous idea.
You're
that
in
I've
the
had
process
my-
of recording every song you know.
Yeah, no, we have so many songs, but 2 more will be coming out, which makes 4. Hopefully, it'll be a nice little 4
Featuring
for a package.
Ludacris.
Featuring Ludacris, aka Ridiculous.
It's not the rapper Ludacris, it's a guy named Lou DeChris.
Did you actually know that?
Ludacris.
Did you know there was a band called Ludacris at one point?
Yeah,
And they-
Ludachrist.
Wasn't it? And
was-
they changed to Norma Jean. Like
No, that might be a different one. There was a band called Ludachrist.
There was
that
a band
changed
called
to Scatterbrain.
Ludacris, and that's what Norma Jean ended up being. Like they turned into Norma Jean. They were called Lutikriss.
Oh God!
And then Ludacris came out, so they just had to change their name.
In the 80s, it was a metal band called Ludachrist, and that was too
think
transgressive, and they had to change their name to Scatterbrain. Nowadays, it's just, it's
Ludachrist
like
is-
the Buttfuck Rangers, and it's fine.
Right.
But so to find TCFH's music or whatever, is it Bandcamp?
Yeah, you can just go on tcfh.bandcamp.com just for you just listen to it for free. You don't have to pay for it. It's stupid.
But you can if you want to.
Yeah, I think so, somewhere. I
Pay
don't
what
know.
you want.
You type Thunder Cougar Falcon Hawk and see what comes up on Google.
Your Washington Post article.
Yeah, there you go. It'll be my Washington Post article.
And how about you, Bill?
Next week, I will be at Accidental Comedy Fest in Cleveland at Hilarities. That is Wednesday through Sunday.
Is that-
You can go to hilarities.com to get all the information. I'll be headlining
this
a
will be
show
on
and opening a show with Dave Hill. And it's that Doug Benson's going to be there. Ron Funches is going to be there. Megan Gailey, Dan Soder,
Curtis Cook.
Nice.
Curtis Cook,
Dulcie Sloan.
Dave Hill. Did I already mention him? So that's that. And then the week after that, I'll be headlining the Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls.
Awesome. And that's Accidental is
That's my
September.
neighborhood.
Oh, yeah?
No,
Yeah.
Come on out, man.
I
It's
should come
fun
on
as
out. That'd be
fuck
fun.
there.
August 30th through September 4th.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that Sunday is.
That's the funny stuff?
Yeah, it's
No, that's Funny Stop's the following week, Thursday,
okay.
Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday.
yeah.
what's
So
up.
that's like I think that's Labor Day weekend, and then Accidental is no.
No, Accidental's
is-
Labor Day weekend,
Yep.
and then Funny Stop is the week after that.
No,
and then the
I'm
week after
excited.
that, I'm doing the Roxino with Polk, and then the week after that, I'm doing a show in Tremont at Coda. I should
Awesome.
probably update my website.
Yeah,
I never
just put it on
anything.
Instagram, right?
Yeah, that's usually what I do.
If you guys are in Cleveland and want to see a show, go see the Snakes. They're playing like 6 shows in the next couple months.
Yeah, and that's
Greggy Casket's other band.
former guest Greg Smith's
Yep.
other band.
Just want to plug that real quick. Go
Can you
see
guarantee that there won't be any actual live snakes at the show?
him. Oh man, I don't know. He doesn't.
You never know what's going to be.
He's not
Now
really.
that's
He's not
class.
really the snake kind of guy.
you
But
afraid
now
of
that's class
snakes,
might
Tommy?
just toss his
coming out of the toilet or something.
might as
Yeah,
well.
that's class. So.
Accidental Comedy Fest, it's probably worth coming into from out of town.
Yeah.
Like this is the 7th year or something, and every year it's just gotten better and better.
And this year at Hilarity is one of the best comedy clubs in the country.
Yeah.
With so many great comics. Because like the headliners that I mentioned are great, but there's so many comics that you haven't heard of that you're going to see there that are incredible.
Yeah.
Just guys in the past that have been there. Guys like Drew Michael,
The comedy at the
Hannibal,
Nick guys.
Like, yeah, the comedy. They'll all be there. So it's just a
and
great fest.
Doug Benson, Doug Loves Movies
Yeah,
will be
Doug
there
loves
too.
movies. Yeah. So.
So
good shit.
Yeah, that'll be
fantastic
awesome.
time, super affordable. Even though like the 3-day weekend passes are just a ridiculous deal for the amount of good stuff you can see. So
For sure.
come on down
Jim Hughes.
or come to Cleveland because if it's worth it, come get here before all the assholes show up. It's going
They
to happen.
will.
Yeah.
There's a decent amount here.
No, but
But not enough.
They're going to be imported soon.
Yeah.
And on that note, we can be found at slurmcast.com. We can be emailed at slurmcastpod@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter and Instagram at slurmcastpod. You can call or text us or send us dick pics at 216-438-1077. I think, rate and review us on iTunes. Is that the only other thing or is there more?
T-shirt.
Tom? Oh, we have a shirt shop on TeePublic.
Give me a shirt.
No. We
shirt
don't
too.
actually have T-shirts,
Oh, okay. So I got to go buy it.
Made to order.
Okay, I'll buy one.
and they're not actually Slurmcast yet. They're just Futurama themed T-shirts. But if you buy it from our link, we get paid for it.
And
But I am starting. I have a Slurmcast shirt that I'm working on, but
Please, yeah.
it will be out by probably by season 4.
yeah, and actually, someone did just send us a design for a T-shirt. We will be reaching out to you very soon. We appreciate you getting a hold of us, and
If you like the Robot Devil, then you'll like.
you'll
this
love the shirt.
Oh,
It's
hell
pretty
yeah.
great. And so have a great week, everybody. We will talk to you soon.
Morbo next.
Bye bye.
Late night show, and out of nowhere, he just went, Rocky lost that second fight. Because we all know Apollo took him down. He's like, Mick even said it, you're a bum rock. Like, that was amazing.